And again, a lot of this stuff is, doesn't serve a purpose in the model other than for you to see what's what. So like, for instance, this leverage ratio here, right? That's just so you can see what's what. If you see this leverage ratio as 10, it's not feasible, But the total leverage ratio of 4.5 is feasible, so. Or if the climate changes and you know that a reasonable leverage ratio is only 3, because the banks are even lending less and less, you see what I'm saying? You can make the necessary changes here. You see what I'm saying? And the total debt you have to borrow, will be altered. And you can have to come up with that much more equity. You see what I'm saying? And that's going to affect our next section, which is our rates of return. Because again, you ideally we want to borrow as much as possible, put in this list of as little equity as possible. Let's say it's better than 4.5. Again, the blue is numbers that we can change. This bottom number changes automatically when you change the top number. So even if we change the exit year, remember we said the investment horizon can be anywhere from 4 to 6 years. Even on the outside, 3 to 7, right? So let's say we push the exit year out, and that's going to change a lot of our assumptions about debt outstanding.
Do you determine the exit year when you raise the funds?
You mean when you raise the fund initially?
Yeah.
No, in practice, I don't think so. Just because, you can't. You just have to. You just have to be prepared to pay people out, usually in a staggered way, or at a time where you have pretty much liquidated all the investments in the fund, and it just sits there until the distribution happens. But, it's not like a hedge fund where you can just start selling stock. You own companies. So it's not going to be, the liquidation process is not going to be as straightforward. Right. So some companies you have to sell, other companies you have to take public. It takes 6 months to go public. Maybe sometimes a year. So
if I were an interested investor, I would want to know the time frame that my money is held up.
And again, that's something that comes in the limited partnership agreements. So some have a fund life and everybody gets their money at the end. Other people have specific sort of like drawdowns, where you can take money out after having had it in for a certain amount of time. Because not all of the money is utilized. That's the other thing. It's not like you raise a $400 million fund and use $399 million. Especially in a market like this, the reason that the deals are going off are so expensive is because there's a lot of money chasing very few deals, right? So that means that funds have a lot of money that's not even being deployed, that's sitting in a bank account.
As well, right? Because you are obligated to pay or
to get a return. Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
A return
Most definitely.
So
most definitely. So people need to put that money to work because people don't want to invest in what's supposed to be a high risk, high return vehicle and end up getting the same return they could have got investing in the S&P. Yeah, so there's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure to find, good deals, stuff where they can make money, where people can make money. Yeah, definitely. So again, in terms of exit analysis, the exit multiple, right now we have the base case listed as a 5 times multiple for EBITDA. In a base case, 6 times, and in the best case, 7 times. So we can obviously alter these. You know, I can change my best guess to 10. You know, it's gonna, alter sort of the amount that you sell the company, obviously. But, sort of the implied enterprise value today is going to be altered. The different amounts at which I can achieve my required rate of return will be altered. And we can also change the required rate of return. You know, maybe if I say I know in this market I can only get a 5-time multiple, I say, you know what, I actually need, a 40% rate of return. And that applies a lot. That implies that the initial amount of equity I put in has to be less somehow, which implies that my purchase price is going to have to be less. Which, like I said, that may just not be possible, But what this may tell me is I don't even go after CBS until the price is at 18. You see what I'm saying? If my required rate of return is 40 and all these other factors are as they are, but you get the idea here. Is that you need things that indicate a range of possible situations, so you can manipulate them based on what's going on or what could possibly go on in the future. Understood? We just ended out with sources and uses. Basically, it gives us a feel for where we get the money. How much equity we need to put in the deal, what we're going to get from those options proceeds when we actually buy the company, what cash the company has on their books. We talked about how important that is. And it gives us a feel for, for what it's going to take to get our hands on a given company. Or, like I said, you could be easily working in a corporate environment or working on a hostile, in investment banking, on a hostile defense, and you're saying, what is it going to take for them to get their hands on this company? And how can we prevent that? How can we alter the capital structure to make ourselves less attractive? Those types of things. So all of this stuff has multiple applications, but it's the same concepts. People are working on the same assumptions. All of the models are going to look very similar. Probably most of them not this complex, but, they're going to measure the same things, for the same purposes. People just coming at them different ways.
So what we'll do is I'll email you guys a separate LBO that I can email you guys with, all the PDFs and all the stuff of the different companies and walk through the full thing. Now that Shay's gone over exactly, really everything about the balance sheet, the income statement, cash flows, and, walking through the model. I'll give you guys an opportunity to, walk through that as well and send you guys a full model on that. So I guess maybe we'll go through the last set of slides. My buddy is here downstairs, special guest at Melbourne, so I'll go get him.
Okay, so you want me to run through?
Yeah, we'll go through the... if you want to do that. Well, Trevor's mentioned you guys went through like angel investing, mezzanine, and all those at the beginning. You guys went through a little bit of that?
Yeah.
All right, so why don't you walk them through? I think pipes are great for that too. Yeah,
all right, perfect. We'll talk about pipes and then we'll have them step in.